cornered animal. Wasserman Shultz rats on Comerads live on CNN. Debbie Wasserman Shultz lashed out like a cornered animal during an interview on CNN yesterday, turning on her comrade Jay Johnson and claiming his sworn testimony about the DNC computer hack is wrong in every respect and utterly misinformed. Democrats ran an arrogant, sloppy propaganda campaign during the election because they assumed that Clinton victory was certain. They didn't think the public would be smart enough to notice the holes in their story. They couldn't have been more wrong. Now, as the heat begins to rise in the investigation into the DNC and computer hack, Democrats have begun giving contradictory testimonies, attempting to save their own skin at the expense of their colleagues. Wasserman Shultz is the latest Democrat to throw a colleague under the bus in an attempt to save herself from serving jail time. Speaking live on CNN on Thursday, she told the anchor, "He's wrong in every respect. Let me be very clear, at no point during my tenure at the DNC was I contacted by the FBI, DHS, or any government agency or alerted to or made aware that they believed that the Russians, an enemy state, was intruding on our network." Let's take a quick listen.
Something else has been happening that happened at Capitol Hill. The former Secretary of Homeland Security testified yesterday about the Russian hacks during the election, and he flat out said that the DNC refused his department's help. You put out a statement afterward basically saying that Jay Johnson was wrong. Where is he wrong?
He's wrong in every respect. Let me just be very clear. At no point during my tenure at the DNC was I contacted by the FBI, DHS, or any government agency, or alerted or made aware that they believed that the Russians, an enemy state, was intruding on our network. At no point. And I am a member of Congress who had the ability to sit down and be briefed in a classified setting. Even Director Comey testified publicly that he wished that he had gone to the top of the organization. We're one of the two national political parties. It is astounding that when they had a member of Congress who was leading that organization, that no one felt it was any more important when we had a foreign enemy intruding on one of the two political parties' networks to do anything more than lob a phone call in to our tech support through our main switchboard.
But how can both
That's
be
outrageous.
true? I mean, Secretary Johnson says the DNC rebuffed the help that they offered. You're saying that no one ever contacted you.
Respectfully, Secretary Johnson is utterly misinformed. That is simply not accurate, and much that has been written about the timeline of events by the New York Times, the Washington Post, that document through multiple sources, including me, that the FBI and other federal agencies did virtually nothing to make sure that when they were aware, at the point that they were aware that there was, or concerned that there was an intrusion on our network by the Russians, that they did virtually nothing to sound the alarm bells to make us aware of that. And they left, essentially, the Russians on our network for almost a year before we discovered that they...
And there you have it, folks. In case you missed it, former DHS Director Jay Johnson testified to lawmakers this week that the DNC rejected his agency's offer to protect its network, despite receiving warnings they were vulnerable to external hacks. Instead, the DNC chose an outside cybersecurity firm to deal with, quote, the hacks that the DNC says led to WikiLeaks publishing thousands of its emails. CNN's Boldwan asked Wasserman Shultz how both accounts could be true. Secretary Johnson says DNC rebuffed the help offered. You were saying no one contacted you. Wasserman Shultz replied by throwing the former DHS director under the bus. Secretary Johnson is utterly misinformed. That is simply not accurate, excuse me. Wasserman Shultz went further and blamed the FBI for not helping. They left the Russians on our network for more than for almost a year before we discovered that they were there. Democrats are sweating, squirming, and splitting hairs as they try to wiggle out of the DNC computer hack scandal, although naive Democrats living in their liberal bubble like to say the Obama presidency didn't have any scandals. Their fantasy world is slowly but surely falling apart. Wasserman Shultz is merely the latest Democrat to rat on a former colleague as the heat continues to rise on the criminal Obama administration and Clinton campaign. It won't be long before they are ripping each other to shreds, trying to save their own skins at the expense of their former colleagues. Get comfortable. It's beer and popcorn time. Hallelujah. Let us know what you think in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching.